Welcome. This is video 1 in Module 1, Assessing and Evaluating Student Data. This video and the others on this page are a part of a series in a mathematics professional development unit for K-5 teachers. I'm going to start out here by reading a quote by Elizabeth Thornton. It says, "To be an effective leader and to make sound decisions, you must be able to gather data by seeking out diverse perspectives and be willing to consider points of view other than your own." And I think that is a huge thing. If our mindset is open, we can really reach our students and we can really make a difference in their lives. And so that's sort of the premise for the unit, and so this module is created for K-5 teachers. The purpose is to reinforce teachers' understanding of assessment and to provide new ways to collect and analyze data. And with the influx of 21st century learning, there's abundance of resources for teachers and will help them plan and drive instruction. Instruction specifically tailored to their students' needs will ultimately help them gain greater knowledge and understanding in all content areas. And so we're going to first start out by breaking down the standards, and I want to point out to you a group of standards that you might not realize, but they have an effect on our classroom as far as the influence of technology, because the more and more we get into this age, the more and more our students are going to come to us, A, knowing about technology, B, knowing how to use it, and it's crazy for us not to implement it and let it influence their products, and our approach to learning. And so there's an organization called the International Society for Technology and Education, the ISTE, and they are an organization that has developed standards for both educators and students alike to make sure that in this 21st century that students are effectively incorporating technology and that teachers are doing the same. And so we're over here under the resources tab. You'll notice there are many standards that we're going to get into, but at the very bottom it says the standards for the 21st century learner. And so on their page, you'll see under the standards tab that there's ISTE standards for students and for teachers. And so today I just want to focus on the student side because you're wondering what these are. Many of you probably haven't seen them before according to our pre-assessment data that you sent in to me. And so it just basically says that students must be prepared to thrive in a constantly evolving technological landscape, and that is so true. And so these standards down here, they get into more detail if you get into the specifics of them, but I want to give you a quick overview of them. There are 7 of them, and you can see how you can download them at the bottom and view the specific indicators at the right. But they're right here. Number 1 is to empower the learner. Okay, to leverage technology to take an active role in choosing, achieving, and demonstrating competency in their learning goals. Giving students the charge. Okay, the second one, many of us do. We think about it. I know at the beginning of the year, I take a lot of time to talk about students being digital citizens and that what you post is not just going to go away. Even if it's like Snapchat, somebody can take a screenshot and it can cause you trouble. It can cause others trouble. You just need to be smart about what you're posting because it's a representation of you, and that's what the digital citizenship is. So number 3 is a knowledge constructor, basically that using that technology to construct knowledge, produce creative things, and that goes along with number 4, being an innovative designer, where students use a variety of technologies within a design process to identify and solve problems by creating new and useful or imaginative solutions. The next one's being a computational thinker, where students develop and employ strategies for understanding and solving problems in ways that leverage the power of technological methods and test solutions. Number 6 is a big one to me, I think, that we need to embrace more of, is that creative communicator. because before we would be very closed off in our area, within our region. But now with technology, students have connection to the world, and a lot of parents and teachers alike are scared of taking that approach, but with correct, modeling and foundation, I think the students can use this in a positive way. It says that students communicate clearly and express themselves creatively for a variety of purposes using the platforms, tools, styles, formats, and digital media appropriate to their goals. So it's not saying let them go loose on it, but with the correct, parameters, I think students can communicate with others within their district, communicate with others within their state, and maybe even on a global sense, which gets into 7, that students can use digital tools to broaden their perspectives, to see different cultures, to understand that it's not just them, that other kids around the world, there's similarities and differences between them. And here it says to enrich their learning by collaborating and working effectively in teams, which many students these days are just put on technology like alone and they're in isolation. It's to open up their world, to communicate more, because that's what they're going to have to do when they get older, is work on teams with people that they might not ever know. And so those are the ISTE standards for the students. And you're like, well, I've already got the Common Core. Yes, but these are just things that can support it. We need to be more intentional with our actions. And so this is just our first talk. In the second video, you're going to see us get into the Common Core side of standards. But before we close, just pause and think a moment about how might I be more purposeful in infusing technology in my classroom.